You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house. And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Started like a normal episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. But it didn't stay that way. Joe Rogan, known for asking tough questions, having strong opinions, and doing bold interviews, was deeply shaken this time. It wasn't about politics, fighting, aliens, or comedy. This time it was something much more real, something painful, something that couldn't be ignored anymore.
So many horrific accusations involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z,
everybody.
I'm sure the Clintons were there at some point.
Maybe Bill.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So
Joe had just watched a short clip, only 1 minute long. But that clip changed how he looked at the music industry forever. The center of it all was Justin Bieber, a kid who had the world in his hands at just 15 years old. But behind the lights, the sold-out shows, and the screaming fans, something much darker was happening. And Joe Rogan had the proof. This is the story of what really happened to Justin Bieber when he was placed in the hands of Sean Diddy Combs.
And good luck when you're older. You know, Justin Bieber had a post the other day on his Instagram talking about all the drugs that he did when he was younger and how much it fucked him up. And now he's got a relationship with the Lord, and he's married, and he's trying to be a normal person.
Yeah.
But he's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid.
Months ago, I was really struggling mentally and emotionally, and just there was so many things that were adding up, and I wasn't able to enjoy any of the things that I own.
That stuff's not gonna matter to you.
None of the actual things did anything because I was so hurt and I was so confused and I was so sick, and there was all these things, and I was like, I can't, you know, there's like, you just can't, like you said, you can't enjoy the actual physical, tangible, like, things that money offers, right?
Justin Bieber didn't just show up on stage one day. He was discovered. He was a small-town boy from Canada with a big voice and even bigger dreams. His YouTube videos got noticed. Scooter Braun found him. Then came Usher. And then came Diddy. People said Diddy would help Justin become a huge star, that he would teach him the business and guide him to the top. And in some ways, they were right. But at what cost?
Because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we become friends in a strange way, you know?
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like, exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
In an old video clip, Diddy is seen bragging that he had Justin with him for 48 hours. He called it mentorship, but the way he said it made many people uncomfortable even back then. "I've been given custody of him for the next 48 hours, Diddy said on camera, smiling. He joked that what they were doing was a 15-year-old's dream, but he never explained what that meant. No clear details, just strange comments about where they were going, what they were doing, and how much fun they were having.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 555.
Yes. Okay.
5555.
Okay. 55. You heard that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The you of then was on a path of self-destruction.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive for sure. It was dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life that have played a huge part in me seeing their relationship with Jesus and their relationship with their wives and their relationship with their kids and saying that's what I want. But I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
Didn't sound like normal mentorship. Sounded more like control and isolation. Then Diddy compared it to when he had guardianship over Usher as a teenager too. That part gave Joe Rogan chills. Joe didn't want to believe the rumors, but after seeing the documents, the videos, and the emotional toll on Justin Bieber, he couldn't stay quiet anymore. He had a stack of court papers on his podcast desk, contracts, flight records, hotel receipts. None of it made sense unless you knew what to look for. One paper was especially hard for Joe to read. It was a handwritten note from Justin when he was 15. In the note, Justin asked if he could go home early. He said the trip was too intense, the schedule was too much, and he missed his mom. He said he didn't feel right. It was the handwriting that broke Joe. "This is a kid just trying to breathe," Rogan whispered with tears in his eyes.
He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion.
I always say this about Justin Bieber. When people hear about him going insane, like, of course he's going insane. You have no idea what it would be like to be him and to be 17 years old. And girls literally trying to break into his house. They're coming down chimneys. They're flying in on parachutes. They're doing anything they can. They just want to be around him. You want him to be normal?
Oh, man, poor guy.
Flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio, and who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. Yeah, rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one?" And he was like, "Let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out." So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like, what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere?
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, "Are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing."
When all these dick pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of managing he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your cock, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts.
But what made Joe go from shocked to furious was the video footage. A hallway camera at a private estate, an estate rented under one of Diddy's shell companies, showed Bieber walking at 3:12 a.m. There was no stage, no fans, just two assistants walking behind him like bodyguards. He was holding his guitar, his head down. Through the door of one room, the camera caught a whiteboard. Joe's producer zoomed in. At the top, in red letters, it said, "Full Immersion Weekend." Below that were strict rules. Vocal drills until dawn, no personal phone use, only 4 hours of sleep, and no outside calls unless approved. There was nothing about music lessons, no music theory, no fun. It didn't look like training. It looked like control. "This is not how you mentor a teenager," Joe said, shaking his head. Not long ago, Justin Bieber posted on Instagram about his past. He didn't mention Diddy, but he talked about being pushed too hard, becoming famous too young, doing things he didn't want to do, and struggling under pressure. He said he's now trying to find peace, that his faith is helping him, and being married to Hailey has helped him feel normal again.
We had seen these videos of Justin Bieber being handed over to him at age 15. Great job. Great job. And for his weekend with Diddy camp. I mean, we don't know, but it certainly looks like Justin Bieber is still suffering the fallout from whatever happened to him as he was coming up the ranks of the music world. It really doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I'd love to hear more from his camp about what's real, because it's clear he's suffering. We just don't know from what, and what mother out there would give her 15-year-old boy over to a grown man who's in the rap industry for a weekend with Diddy camp without other adult supervision.
Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right, now it's time to...
But Justin also said something else. That fame as a child broke something in him. And now, with all the documents in front of him, Joe finally understood what that meant. After the episode went live, phones started ringing. Other artists called in. People who had worked in the music industry said they had seen the same patterns. Promises of mentorship, then long nights, strict rules, no freedom, and silence. Many of them had been too scared to speak before, but seeing Joe Rogan cry gave them courage. Slowly, the truth started coming out. One former assistant said she saw Justin being told not to call his mom. Another said Diddy would hold focus weekends where no one was allowed to leave. No phones, no managers, just Diddy, the team, and the talent. Joe listened to each story, growing more shocked. How did this go on for so long, he asked. After the episode went viral, major companies reacted. They pulled ads from Diddy's old videos. A sneaker brand canceled a special edition collab. Streaming services began reviewing some of his music. Suddenly, Diddy was no longer a legend. He was a problem. And it all started because one brave man, Joe Rogan, refused to stay quiet. At the end of the show, Joe looked into the camera and gave a message to the entertainment world. If you saw something, now's the time to say something. Don't protect fame, protect kids. He said staying silent only makes things worse, and that keeping young artists safe is more important than protecting someone's legacy. Joe also promised that all the money made from that episode would go to mental health programs and groups that protect artists. Success should open doors, he said, not lock people in. Near the end of the episode, Joe read from a therapist's report written during one of Justin's legal evaluations. The report said Justin's early career was emotionally overwhelming. It said he was stuck in a cycle of extreme work, no rest, and deep anxiety. The therapist explained that Justin showed signs of isolation and pressure from a young age, and that it could take years to heal. Joe put the papers down, wiped his eyes, and looked straight into the camera. This wasn't guidance, he said. This was control. Since the episode aired, even more people have come forward. More stories, more documents, more truth. People are now looking closely at Diddy's past with young artists and asking serious questions. Why did so many of them burn out? Why did so many disappear? Why didn't anyone speak up until now? The answer is clear: fear, power, control. But now that silence is finally breaking, and Joe Rogan made sure of it. Through all of this, one person has quietly stayed strong: Justin Bieber. He's no longer a scared 15-year-old. He's a husband, a believer, a survivor. And even though he hasn't shared all the details publicly, he's found a way to heal. He uses his music to tell the truth, his faith to guide him, and his voice to connect with millions. And maybe, just maybe, the worst parts of his past can now help protect someone else's future. This story isn't just about one pop star or one music mogul. It's about a system that let power go unchecked. It's about how money and fame can hide the truth. But it's also about how truth always finds a way to come out. Joe Rogan didn't plan to cry that day, but sometimes the truth hits harder than anything else. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. What happened to Justin Bieber should never happen to anyone again. Let's make sure it doesn't.